Now she gonna be a good girl, and he gonna follow me in here because he's my white chaperone.
You sure?
Murdered. Are you going to let me pet?
What's your problem? No, I did not end stream. Losers. Although I might end it soon.
Alright, so for this video, I'm going to talk about this thing that I've realized about rage baiting and the sort of the overall troll energy is that does seem to be the demon's way of generating loosh, right? That does seem to be a loosh generation tactic that I've noticed, and especially online, right? Because there does, like, whenever I go online, there are a lot of comments that do that from whether it's people, whether it's a Fed, whether it's just a Chat GPT language model that's a part of a bot farm online, right? Like there do seem to be comments online that are specifically designed to stir the pot. They're specifically designed to get a rise out of people, and this is related to the concept of rage baiting, right? Which is that you're doing things deliberately to make another person angry. You're doing things to deliberately get a rise out of someone, and that does seem to be almost like a tactic that demons use in order to generate loot. And if you don't know, about like the connection between demons and jesters or clowns, right? Jesters and clowns are actually like the physical appearance of a jester entity or a clown entity. The clown costume is actually based on demonic. It's based on demonic entities. They're based on the appearance of Nephilim, right? Which is why you have like the diamond face paint, which is a reptilian which is a reference to the reptilian slit eye. Right, you have like the pale skin, the red hair, right, the psychedelic clothing, right. So these are Nephilim spirits. These are demonic entities, right. But like the whole concept of rage baiting, of doing things specifically to annoy another person in order to get a rise out of them, in order to get them stressed, in order to get them to generate a negative reaction, that does seem to be the sort of core energy or the core tactic that demonic entities use to generate loosh. And if you don't know what loosh is essentially the negative energy that human beings generate whenever they're in a state of whenever people are in a state of trauma, when they're in anger, when they're in stress, when they're in sad and in a depression, right. This generates a psychic energy that is given off as in the form of loosh, which is the energetic sustenance of demonic entities, right. And so to it, right. And I've encountered people like this during school, whenever I would get bullied by the other kids, right. Like this is something that all bullies will do, is that they'll do something. They have a jester, kind of a troll energy, where like they'll say things like, or in order to get a rise out of you, or they'll say things that on the surface don't appear to be malicious, right? But you know for a fact that they're being malicious, that they're making fun of you, that they're doing this, that, and the other, right? So the teachers don't do anything about it. Teachers don't do anything about bullying anyway, but the teachers don't do anything about it. And nobody else thinks that they're doing anything, right? But like, and even like the whole mockery, the concept of mockery, right? The concept of mocking people, mocking someone's appearance, mocking the way someone laughs, right? I've been mocked by people for the way that I laugh. Whenever I'm just randomly laughing at something, people will like go like they'll make fun of the way that I laugh, or like they'll make fun of my clothing, or like the way that I look or whatever, right? And that does seem to be very, demonic energy, right? That does seem to be, like a very jester-like, clown-like, mockery, rage baiting, doing things to deliberately get a rise out of someone else, right? That does seem to be the primary tactic, or the primary behavior pattern. Let's call it that, right? If we're looking at like demons, like animals, like they're animals in the wild, right? Like these are, entities in the wild, right, that can possess people who are in a I don't like using the word low vibrational, since it's, new agey, but people who are in a, low vibrational state of consciousness, I guess you could say, have this have the ability to, get possessed by a demon unknowingly, because their state of consciousness matches with demonic energies, right? And that is the primary behavior pattern that you should look for when it comes to the archons, when it comes to, the reptilian entities, when it comes to demonic entities, when it comes to, any negative entity that feeds off of loosh and negative energy, is you should look for the jester energy. You should look for the troll energy. You should look for the mockery, right? You should look for anything that is, if you can sort of tell this if you listen to your gut, right? If
Well, I'm
anyone's
not saying
behavior is
anything.
specifically designed to get a reaction out of you, or if you can tell, like this person's mocking me, or this person's poking fun at me, or this person's, doing this, that, and the other, and, they're saying things deliberately to get an emotional reaction out of you, that is the one, sign that I've seen of demonic behavior. Not only of like demonic behavior, but just general. This does seem to be like an instinct. It's almost instinctual, with these entities, like that they have the instinct to
And
do
bloodline.
things to sort of troll people, to do things to, get a rise out of people, to create chaos, and to generate, emotional turmoil, to disturb people's peace. That does seem to be like an instinctual imperative of a demonic, and it makes me think of like the Joker in, like in like the Batman comics, right? Like the Batman movies, right? He's
Emotions matter, then why are you
it's
here?
like, and I think there was this line of dialogue that Heath
Then why are
Ledger,
you here?
it did in like The Dark Knight, where he talks about like, I don't know why, like it's like a dog chasing his tail. I don't know why I do these things. I just do it, right? And like yet again, like the behavior of mockery, of mocking someone's appearance, mocking someone for who they are, just because, right? Or doing things to get a rise out of people, doing it, and even like doing stuff like like
Wicked.
pranks, even like prankster behavior, right? And I'm not talking about like harmless pranks. I'm talking about like pranks
Joke
that
over
are.
your head. Is it?
I've had this happen to me where like one of my cousin's friends,
Oh,
actually like poured water.
I made the joke that
remember
you guys
stayed
know
over at my
were
cousin's house,
better
and one of my
than
cousin's
the
friends
people
actually
who
like poured water
were
on
with
me, or
Jeffrey
maybe it was like a water gun or
Epstein
something. It was,
and
like,
dressed
super
up as
soaker.
Jesus
Like, while I was sleeping, he just
with
like dumped water
Epstein
on
to
me.
rape that little
In order
girl.
to just get a rise. And
You guys
that
didn't
is
like that
psychopathic
joke.
behavior. Every single bully
Tired of
that
you,
I've ever
kind
encountered,
of?
every single
That's unfortunate.
psychopathic, sociopathic
Still
person
here.
that I've ever come across has that same sort of
Still
behavior
here.
pattern. Is that they have this sort of instinctual, primal sort of drive to disturb other people's peace, to rage bait. No loosh is being generated. There's no energy for these energy vampires to feed off of, right? If they're not generating chaos, if they're not mocking people, if they're not, doing things to make people angry, if they're not, pouring water on people while they're sleeping, like that was just an example that just came to mind. It's a memory